Welcome back. Before we go further, I want to defend the football fans in my hometown of Indianapolis. They're being blasted for allegedly booing Andrew Luck in the moments after news broke the Colts quarterback would retire. Take a listen. If happiness is indeed based on expectations, so is unhappiness. If you buy season tickets expecting a Super Bowl run or expecting to watch one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and you find out 2 weeks before the season opener there will be no Super Bowl run or top 5 quarterback, how would you react the moment you found out? Would you more than likely express some form of disappointment? Booing is not ideal, but it's understandable, especially if you have any understanding of the Colts' history. Colts fans, perhaps unjustifiably, feel like they've been lied to. Andrew Luck has practiced 3 times since April, and now after all the season tickets have been sold, after families have built their fall budgets around the Colts games and Colts tailgates, Luck is retiring. Colts fans feel intentionally misled. They don't trust the leadership of the organization, starting at the very top with owner Jim Irsay. This weekend, football analyst guru Warren Sharp broke down over Twitter and in a story on his website, sharpfootballanalysis.com, exactly how the Colts organization ruined Andrew Luck's playing career. Sharp blamed former Colts general manager Ryan Grigson for causing Luck's injury-riddled stretch. Grigson failed to put the necessary pieces around Luck, particularly on the offensive line. Sharp lives in D.C. Colts fans watch Grigson's incompetence up close. They witnessed Grigson give up a first-round pick for Cleveland's failed running back Trent Richardson. They watched Irsay overlook and rationalize Grigson's incompetence up close. They were baffled when Irsay gave both Grigson and then head coach Chuck Pagano contract extensions when it was clear the two couldn't work together. Over the last half-century, Colts ownership has made one good decision. When Jim Irsay took over the team in 1997 after his father, Bob, died, Jim hired legendary executive Bill Polian. Polian drafted Peyton Manning and eventually hired Tony Dungy. The Colts were the NFL's winningest franchise for a decade. Since firing Polian in 2011 and replacing him with Grigson, Jim Irsay has morphed into his father, who was one of the worst owners in NFL history. Colts fans like Jim Irsay personally. He's committed to the Indianapolis community, and he's well-intentioned. But they don't trust an owner who has had off-field issues related to drugs. Colts fans did not boo Andrew Luck. They booed the conclusion of a messy and disappointing Andrew Luck era. All right, Bucky Brooks and TJ Houshmandzadeh are back. Marcellus, do you have an issue with Colts fans booing Andrew Luck?
I do. It's not evolved thinking. It's not an evolved emotional response. And even though I say that, I understand where they were coming from. But this one hit me even deeper than when the Raptors fans were booing KD. Because at least the Raptors fans were booing against the opponent. These Colts fans were eating their own. And it's sad because Andrew Luck had to go on record and say, I'd be lying if I say I didn't hear it. It hurt. I'll be honest. It hurt. And it's immediately that I go to the conditional love that exists between fans and players. And that's why I always, you know me, I'm a nice guy. Always out there signing autographs, cool with them. But I always knew the conditions. This is fickle. There's a thin line between love and hate. And I'm never fooled by it, but I'm always going to give to it. And these fans did one of the things that I see fans do all the time, which disgusts me. Even though I know it's an investment to be a fan. And I know, look, you're at my hotel at 6 in the morning, respect to you. To step outside your pride and ego and root for something else that's not even you, respect. But don't you ever put the cart before the horse. Don't you ever think that your perspective and your plans for me is greater than my plans for myself. And Andrew Luck put himself first, and people can't get in line and respect that immediately. It was a mob mentality response, which is usually not evolved. Usually it's just group thought. And they went with a primal reaction because they were scared. Why do you get angry? Because you're in fear, hopelessness, or just disappointment. Nobody want to hear about your pain right now. This dude's pain is trumping your pain in this moment, but I understand why people do it. but I wouldn't have been one of the ones booing. I would have been that one guy in that one section standing and applauding.
Well, I think there was a handful of people that booed, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm really disappointed in their response. I mean, if you really care about Andrew Luck, as you say you do as a fan, then you certainly should be empathetic and sympathetic to his plight. The guy's been hurt the last 4 years. He came back, gave you his all, had maybe his best season of his career a season ago, and look, has another injury. At least wait. Take the time to hear his response, why he's electing to retire before just having a quick
But now you made my point, though. It's in the moment. I'm sure once they got all the context, they would handle it
but we know how to act. Like, we just don't just randomly go places and just start booing. Like, look, it may take Bobby Brown a minute to get his note, but we don't just start booing there. We know Bobby's going to get it. It's the same thing with Andrew Luck. Give Andrew Luck his day. Let him have his time before you just get all upset.
Man.
I don't have a problem with it. I really don't have a problem with the fans booing them because that's what they felt in that moment. They're fans. And so they care about one thing, the Indianapolis Colts. When they hear Andrew Luck's retiring and they see him walking off the field, their first reaction was to boo. I don't have a problem with it because they were hurt. And now when they they were hurt. They're fans of the Colts.
Oh, they were more hurt than Andrew Luck?
You know, no.
He ain't got a shoulder.
You know good well fans, when their teams lose, act like they care more than the players care that they lost.
And they acting.
They take it to
They
heart.
are acting. We ain't acting, brother.
That's how fans are. Now, the majority of those fans, if they can sit back now and look back, and I'm sure they wouldn't boo. But in that moment, that's a natural reaction.
I just don't
We're
understand.
not going to be good this year.
I just don't understand the
about
booing
it.
thing.
Yeah,
I've never been to a place and just boo, boo. I don't get that.
I wanted to add this because you guys all know. Man, there's such a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, you said it.
Anything you love,
I know it.
you can flip to hate real quick.
Yeah. But you got to give me something that makes me flip. And if I tell you, look, I have to tap out because I'm not myself. I can't be myself. Look, I'm here because of talent.
And for them,
that's
it looks like it's a rash, snap decision. We just getting this now?
So you can't wait. That's why I said it's not evolved thinking. Because if you understand Andrew Luck loves this game. Look how good he is. Look how invested he is. If he says this, you should say pause, emotion.
I'm sure.
Why?
I'm sure a lot of those fans had some drinks.
No.
And so they
Blame it on the alcohol, Jamie Foxx.
Even if they weren't, when that happens, when your team loses, I've had people literally will just be mad in the playoffs after their team loses like they played the
Doesn't
game.
justify it, TJ. Stop talking down to him. Talk up to him.
I'm not saying it justifies it, but you have to understand that's a natural reaction from a fan. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Darnell, were you mad? Of course he was mad. He might not boo, but he was upset.
I'm gonna tell you what. Look, I'm not reluctant to admit you guys are all better looking than me. You haven't been dumped. You haven't been dumped as often as I've been dumped. And
We back at Wally's again. We back at Are we at your table?
I'm just telling you, when you get dumped, and she may have or he may have the greatest explanation in the world. It's not you, it's me. It's not the way. You're hurt in that moment, and you say things you regret. And then a week later, you walk. You know what? She was right. She was right. And so that's all this is.
That's it.
That's all this is. So guys ain't been dumped, man.
I've been dumped. I've been cut. I got cut on TV, and I didn't even know. I was like, that's me. I got cut. Who do? Where they do that at? Look, but I have been desensitized. I know fans are fanatics, so I respect that. But this is how I've been desensitized. When after a season ticket holder banquet, and everybody got all their money invested, we ready for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then they go up to my man Byron Leftwich and say,
We're going to holler at you for a minute.
yeah, we're going to holler at you for a minute. When they cut a guy in that moment, and it's late, and it's a midnight hour, I just say, hey, it takes two to tango, and what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Y'all got to get in line and understand that these players come first to themselves. And I get that you had this crazy
That's
emotion.
100%. But the fans, they're not looking at it like this is their team.
It's their team comprised
This is
of
their
individuals.
investment that they thought. If you come to dinner like, man, they serving steak. They may come and serve you the greatest chicken ever. But if you came expecting steak...
You booing?
And yes!
Damn you
damn straight! You damn straight. And so, yeah, they came there like, man, we settled in for a Super Bowl ride. We're going to make a run. Andrew Luck, the team's finally here and blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, a tweet from Adam Schefter comes out
Yeah.
that destroys your season. And then you look down and go, well, there's Andrew Luck. Boo.
But you know what? I respect that because I know that's what the reality is. But you know what's funny? Andrew Luck was damned if he did, damned if he don't. If he doesn't tap out and then he has a bad season, they don't make the Super Bowl run, you rather see that, at least you tried. Tried what? I'm not myself. So you want to kill him if he tries and fails, or you going to kill him if he doesn't want to?
It's not saying go out there and try. It's just saying at that moment, right now, we just get this news. We're emotional. We're going to boo. We're not saying, oh, we want you to go out there and play. We're saying, oh, we're just so hurt by
The
this.
same people booing him Saturday night, or I think it was Saturday night, would show him love today. The
Fake
exact
love.
same people.
Fake
It wouldn't
love.
be fake.
Who? That is
They just
fake
be in a
love.
Because they
different
thought
space.
about it, and they see him at the steakhouse that was supposed to be serving steak, and they served chicken. They would want his autograph in the picture and say thank you.
That's all.
Coming up,
That's real.
people have been saying Ezekiel Elliott's holdout would be over sooner rather than later. But did he just give the Cowboys serious reason to worry? We get into that next.